You're listening to Your Calm Parenting Path. I'm your host Nina, a mindful parenting coach and mum, here to help you go from overwhelmed and reactive to calm, confident and connected with your kids. This show is for parents who want to raise their children with more patience, less stress and a whole lot more joy. Because small shifts make a big impact and you can build the parenting life you've always wanted. If you want to see what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram at Mindful Parenting Lifestyle, and don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's get started. Welcome back, lovely listener. I want to start this episode a little differently today. Over the past few days, I've been reading through what parents have shared when they've signed up for my free Siblings workshop. And I just want to read a few of these out because I have a feeling that you might hear yourself in them. Someone said their biggest challenge with siblings was not knowing how to change the cycle. It feels like bullying or helplessness between my kids. Someone else said, always fighting, especially over me. Another was, I'm an only child. I don't even know what a healthy sibling relationship is supposed to look like. Someone said, one of my kids becomes physical really quickly and the other one gets hurt, and it just feels so unfair. One mum said, my daughters are 20 and 17 and still fight all the time. Some days I don't even want to go home. Another one, step family dynamics. My youngest is constantly fighting for attention. And then there was just simply constant fighting. If you're listening to that and thinking, wow, that's exactly what it feels like in our house, I just want to pause here for a second, because underneath all of these responses, there's something really common. It's that feeling of, I don't know how to change this. And that's a hard place to be, because it's not just the noise of the arguments, it's the repetition, the tension, the feeling that you're constantly being pulled into something that keeps happening no matter what you try. And look, I've had moments like these in my own home too. We have just had 2 weeks of school holidays. Moments where I can hear things starting to escalate and I already know what's coming next. And part of me is thinking, oh, not again. Now, before we go any further, I want to say this. If you're looking for really practical language, such as what to say in the moment, how to step in when things are escalating, I actually have gone deeper into that in a previous episode, number 28, and I will link that in the show notes. So if that's what you need right now, I definitely recommend going back and having a listen to that one. But today, this isn't so much about what to say in the moment. This is about what happens before the fight begins. Because what I've noticed, both in my own home and in the families I work with, is that when the same fighting keeps happening, it's often not because we're handling the moment wrong. It's because we're only ever seeing that moment. And I want to show you what I mean with a really simple everyday example. Let's say it's late afternoon. You're in the kitchen trying to get dinner sorted. Something's on the stove, you're packing away lunchboxes, and your brain is already moving ahead to bath, bedtime. Everything that still needs to happen. Your youngest comes in first. Mum, can you watch this? Mum, look what I can do. You glance over your shoulder and say, yeah, that's great. I can see you. Just give me a second. I'm cooking. They hover for a moment, then try again. Mum, watch, Mum. And you respond, a little more distracted this time. I said just a second, I'm busy. And they wander off. A few minutes later, your older child walks in. Mum, I'm really hungry. Can I have a snack? And without really thinking, you stop what you're doing. You turn straight to them and say, yeah, sure, grab something from the fridge. And that's the moment everything shifts. The younger one comes straight back in. That's not fair. You said you were busy. The older one responds, I'm just getting food. Calm down. And then it escalates. You always get Mum first. No, I don't. Stop it. And now you're in it. You turn around a bit more sharply this time. Hey, that's enough. Stop arguing. He's just getting food. You need to be patient. Oh, someone starts crying. Someone storms off. And suddenly it's turned into a full argument. Oh my gosh, just saying it. I can feel the tension rising in my body. And I wonder, can you picture a moment like this in your own home? Because for a lot of families, it's maybe not exactly this scenario, but something very, very similar. From the outside, it looks like the fight is about a snack or about fairness. But when you slow it down, there was something happening before that moment. And sometimes it's not just words. Sometimes it escalates much faster than that. So I've got another example for you. Let's just say it's after school. The kids are in the living room. You're nearby, maybe folding washing, replying to a message, or just trying to catch up on a few things. Your older child is playing with something and they've been focused on it for quite a while, and your younger one comes over. I want a turn, the older one says. I'm still using it. The younger one tries again, louder this time. But I want it now. And you hear this happening and you call out from the other room, just take turns, guys. It's not that hard. A few seconds pass. Then you hear it. The tone has changed. I said no. Give it to me. And before you even get there, there's pushing, maybe a hit, something gets grabbed. You walk in and it's already happened. One child is crying. The other is defensive, and you go straight into it. Hey, we do not hit. That is not okay. Give it back right now. You separate them. You comfort them. You correct the other. And again, it looks like the problem is hitting or sharing. But when you slow it down, there was a build-up there too. Maybe one child has already been told to wait multiple times that afternoon. Maybe the other had been interrupted again and again and had very little patience left. Maybe neither of them had really had a moment of connection with you since getting home. And none of that makes the behaviour okay, but it does start to explain how it got there so quickly. And this is where I want to offer you something really small. Not something to fix everything, just something to begin with. The next time there's a sibling conflict, see if you can come back to it later when things are calm and ask yourself, what was happening before that? That's it. Not to analyse everything, not to get it perfect, just noticing. Because you might start to see patterns like they were both really tired, or that's the third time today one of them felt left out. Maybe this always seems to happen when I'm busy and distracted. And that awareness doesn't fix everything overnight, of course not, but it does give you something really important. It gives you context. And from there, you start to have more options, not just in the moment of the fight, but in everything around it. And that's where things begin to shift, gently, gradually. Because this isn't about fixing everything overnight. It's about starting to see things differently and having a bit more to work with in those everyday moments. Whew, this is a lot today. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, this is exactly what's happening in our house and I still don't really know what to do next. If you're listening to this in real time, I'm running a free sibling workshop on the 29th of April 2026 where we go deeper into this. We look at what's building underneath these patterns, why they keep repeating, and how to respond in a way that feels calmer and more doable. I'd love to have you there. There'll be all the details in the show notes for you to sign up. Now, if you're listening to this podcast after the 29th of April, you're still very welcome to take the next step. The best place to start is by joining my mailing list. That way, you'll be the first to hear when I run this workshop again, and you'll also get more support, tools, and insights around sibling dynamics and mindful parenting. The link to join my mailing list will also be in the show notes. Now that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you'll found this episode valuable in your parenting journey. See you next time. Thanks for listening to Your Calm Parenting Path. I am so glad you're here. And I hope this episode gave you something useful to take into your parenting journey. If you'd like to dive deeper, sign up to my mailing list at mindfulparentinglifestyle.com.au for more tips and insights. Or book a free chat to learn how we can work together. And don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. I look forward to speaking with you next time on Your Calm Parenting Path.